Let me start by thanking all the people who responded. There was a lot of insight, a lot of advice, and a lot of support, and while there were certainly a fair share of people just looking for an argument, insulting me, making offensive comments, or trying to rope me into something called MGTOW, luckily the vast majority of replies were great and stuff I could work with, especially those who are in similar situations. And those who are in said situation but are the depressed party proved to give me some insight I sometimes did not even consider. Also, I am sorry for not being able to respond to everyone. I really tried my best to respond, but there were so many comments I honestly couldn't keep up anymore. But rest assured, I tried to read just about every single comment, so your advice likely did not go in vain, and I appreciate it. I ended up having a really good think about my entire situation, trying to wait out whether I would be able to give her another chance to begin with, as despite my post would give away was actually something I struggled with. I was a bit of an emotional mess after all, and honestly I sort of lack control over my emotions. As you might have noticed in some of my responses, sometimes I seemed nostalgic, forgiving, and nice. Other times I seemed vengeful, resentful, and hateful. I will admit off the bat that this is all me, and like I told some people in messages, I was and still am not in the best of places emotionally. But I have been working on getting my own emotions under control the past few days, and I can say I am in a better place than I was a week ago. But it will certainly take some more time for me to recuperate from all of this. Now off to what people were likely looking to see. What ended up happening this week that made me decide to make an update post? Well, after all that thinking, I decided regardless of what course I would be taking, as some people suggested, it would be my decisions and my decision alone, not the decision of my parents, her parents, friends, or people on the internet, mine alone. A decision I would be the one living with at the end of the day. So I decided I would inevitably end up regretting it all if I did not at the very least talk to my wife and get some closure. So that is exactly what I did. 2 days ago, I decided to invite her to our home to talk about our relationship, what I would be doing going forward, her depression, and so forth. Basically just to get it all on the table. Now, it would be impossible to narrate this entire conversation, and honestly it was about some very personal stuff, so I would not want to even if I could. So I will instead try to break it down and give a summary of sorts. We ended up discussing our entire relationship. I must admit it was very awkward and confronting, as it was about a lot of stuff myself in particular had bottled up for so long it was very hard for me not to start yelling. She said she felt guilty about it all, and that guilt was just making her psychological state even worse. She said she hated seeing me going to work, coming home exhausted, and having to clean everything up, until I just passed out essentially, which I might add is a massive step for her, as she never admitted this. But she started admitting a lot of stuff and apologizing for a lot of things in our relationship. She said her time away made her realize how much I mean to her and how much she took for granted, and that she should have done better a long time ago. To which I told her I felt like I had been enabling her essentially, while I had tried to keep her to her medication and all of that. At the end of the day, it was always me picking up after her, which probably made it easier for her to slip back into it all. Well, after hours upon hours of talking, we ended up hugging for what seemed like over an hour before going back to talking. And she basically said she understood if I would not take her back. She understood if I did not trust her to get better. She understood that I was tired, but she asked me to give her one more chance and she would do anything for it. I have to admit, my mind immediately wanted me to go to the obvious option, which was not taking her back, not giving her a chance. But honestly, in this discussion, she was the person I was once in love with. She seemed to take ownership of things. She seemed different somehow. But I also knew the risks coming with taking her back, and honestly I was not about to pull another Hail Mary. So I told her I would be willing to give it a shot, but it wouldn't be like before. Not at all. I told her she would have to prove she was going to put in the effort first, before we could even begin. Firstly, I told her she had to get a part-time job. I don't care what sort of job, whether it is waiting tables at a clothing store or at some company. It is irrelevant, as long as she made sure to go every single time she was supposed to go, look presentable when going, and made sure she did her best at said job. Secondly, she knows I like going to the gym. As such, she would be going with me at least 3 times a week, get in shape again, get some exercise in, but most of all be busy in a healthy way. Thirdly, she is going to help her parents around the house while she stays there. No more sitting in her room along with her thoughts, groceries, dishes, vacuuming, whatever. She was going to make an effort doing it every single day. Fourthly, as some people suggested, we were going to go on a date once a week. No more escaping, not wanting to go outside, feeling self-conscious. No more excuses. Fifthly, we were going to do couples counseling. I know we tried before, but we will try again. Sixth, she is going to go to a new therapist. Not lie about anything anymore and do what the therapist tells her. Seventh, if the therapist suggests medication, she is going to take them every time she is supposed to take them, and I will keep them with me and she will take them in front of me. No more forgetting. No more not taking them. No more complaining, and if there are issues with them, we will try different ones, but regardless, she is going to stick to it. I told her, once we are doing all that, we can go to the next stage of repairing our relationship. But until she does them and keeps them up for a good few months, there is not a single chance I will continue our relationship. And yes, I know ultimatums are a taboo on relationship advice, but I don't think I have much of a choice. To my surprise, she actually agreed, and to my even bigger surprise, despite it only having been 2 days, she was actually helping her mother and father around the house yesterday and has been looking for jobs. Her dad also said she seems a lot more cheerful. Now I know there is a long road left, and I know there is a good chance this won't work out and that I should not cheer too early. But honestly, I am hoping I get my wife back, and I felt I owe it to myself to at least allow her this one last chance. Call me an idiot for giving her this chance, but well, perhaps I am an idiot. That was my update. I am not sure whether I will make another. I had honestly not even planned on making this one. I want to thank the people who responded to my other post again for their insight and advice, and I hope all of you live happily ever after or something, haha.